What's your name and where are you from?
My name is Miguel Cabrera. I'm from Miami, Florida.
What have you learned on this course about teaching and why is that relevant to you?
I thought that no matter how I taught, my students were going to understand. But then I realized in this course that everybody learns in a different way. Example, I'm a kinetic teacher. I like hands-on. But my students might not learn that way. So I had to incorporate all the different teaching methods so that the students could have a better understanding.
What are a few important things that you have learned about teaching English on this course and why are they important to you?
Something very important. I'm a native speaker, so I learned English since I was born. But I realized during this course and throughout my teaching career that my students know more grammar than me. Now, I thought that was because they were better students than I had been, but it came to me as a surprise when I learned that if you're a native speaker, more than likely grammar was not taught to you. All right, so I'm learning Spanish now, and now I'm realizing that I know more grammar than my students. So it's a learning process. Now I know that every time I teach something, it's layers. I have to teach each step of the lesson so they have a better understanding of it.
Would you describe a moment from your teaching that has impacted and has you thinking about how to better serve learning? What happened?
It was actually a negative moment. I was teaching a grammar lesson and I thought I had everything under control, and then a problem arose. I had students asking me questions about the grammar lesson. At the beginning it set me off tone, but then they asked me a question where I had no answer for. I really was lost. I had to stop what I was doing. I started searching for answers. I couldn't find them. And it got to the point where I said, you know what, let me just go ahead and ask for help. So I asked one of my colleagues for help. I finally got the answer. And that taught me that we're not going to know all the answers, but we do have to be ready for any unforeseeable problems that we might have.
What happened in that moment that might have been helping learning?
At that moment, I realized that by getting my lesson plans ready ahead of time and having somebody check it could give me points on something that I might not see at the moment. Also, practice teaching my lesson beforehand could show me what the students might have issues with, what might go smooth, and help me solve any problems that could happen in the future.
What happened in that moment that might have been hindering learning?
That one was good. Next question.
Wow. So what generalizations could you make from these interpretations?
All right, generalization. When you're teaching anything, and especially a language, to the non-speaker, you have to come to the conclusion that not everybody's going to learn the same. There's also the culture barriers, the language barriers, all right? So you have to take all that in consideration. Also, you have to know that just because one student understood it, all right, doesn't mean that the other ones did. Take example ECRIF. ECRIF is set up so that we all know the different steps and reach the fluency. Fluency is not that you're a native speaker. Fluency means that you're able to do the activity without any help, all right, or any questions.
And what might you do based on this understanding?
All right, from now on I know that I will definitely implement not only ECRIF, but PDPs and things like that in my lesson, not only to make them more thorough, but a little more fun, all right? Because sometimes, when you're learning something, it becomes a little tedious if it's the same thing over and over. So by learning all these different methods that I've learned, it makes my class a little more fun, a little more creative, and it helps students to stay active.
So, in conclusion, what have you learned about yourself as a teacher on this course so far?
Right, I learned that I'm a learner also. I'm learning. This is a process, all right? And every time I learn something new, I get to teach that to my students, all right? Also, I learned that we're not supposed to have all the answers, but it's good that we want to have all the answers. We want to learn new things. We want to share new experiences. So, as a teacher, I know that I have a long way to go, but it's been a good process so far.
Any closing thoughts or comments?
Yeah, this course has been an excellent tool for me. It has taught me to be a better teacher, a better person. It has taught me to have more patience because there was a time when I always asked myself, why can't the students understand me? What am I saying wrong? And now I realize that even though I'm saying the instructions, it's better to write them, to role play them, to give them different opportunities so they better understand them.